All right, all right, all right. Thank you once again. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mothers Unfiltered, where we get unfiltered with you and talk about all the good topics that affect our community. I hope you had a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas. You're still currently celebrating Kwanzaa. So thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in now, later, and a year from now. But with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to Ty, my lovely co host, cousin, and sponsor.
Woohoo! Hello, everyone. Welcome, all new viewers and subscribers. Welcome back, all the rest. We love ya. Yes, we do. Anywho, you know the routine. If you have not yet press that subscribe button or the share button or commented, please do, because it does help us get recognized when people are looking up specific content. It helps with the algorithm. And then let's get the show popping.
So, with that being said, this is going to be part two of relationships. And I thought this was such a good topic just because it affects us all from being single to being married. It's not all what it's, they say it's supposed to be. But, we have different perspectives and we all have different viewpoints on how we view things. So, part one episode, we had our guest panel. It was a whole bunch of guys and they shared their perspectives and what they went through and the things that they're looking for. And it got a little juicy. There was a little conversation dialogue going on because some people talked about being authoritative and some women didn't like what does that mean, but he explained himself. But we're going to hear from the women today and we want to know who we got going on. So let's introduce our guests. We have April Kelly, we have Nisha, and we have Hope.
Hi.
With with that being said, I'm going to jump off and ask a question. So I wanted to ask. So last 2 weeks ago, we had the conversation with the guys, and we wanted to know like what were they looking for. Is it hard to find a black woman? And I want to ask the reverse question: is it hard to find a black man? But it's two part. If you're going to answer yes, it's hard to find a good black man. Are you willing to date outside your race? So you could jump on Kelly and then Hope and then Nisha.
You gonna put me out there first. Oh, is it hard to find a good black man?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's hard to find a good black man if you are, if you know yourself,
Mm-hmm.
if you know what you stand for, you know your values.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, because I honestly, for speaking personally, once I started to really come into my own and know myself and what I wanted in life, my own value, I started to attract. It just
Okay.
like I'm not even like technically like dating right now,
Mm-hmm.
but once I put down in my head like this is what I want, this is what I deserve, it just started to attract me. Um,
Okay.
so and dating outside my race, absolutely not.
Okay. Well, oh, we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get on filter today. That's what we're going to do. Miss Hope, just joining in and jumping on the question. Is it hard for you to find a good black man? And are you willing, if so, are you willing to date outside your race?
So I wouldn't say that it's hard to find a good black man because I just don't believe in speaking that.
Okay.
But what I will say is all of us have our own standards that we have and what we want in a relationship and what a partner and what we want in a man. And I think that once you figure out what you want, I I wouldn't say I would put a black other kind of race of man on it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
who fits that picture. And is that hard? I don't think it's hard. I agree with April that it's not hard once you start doing the inner work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe in spirituality. So I believe that once you start vibrating on the wavelength that you want to attract, it naturally starts coming to you. So I
Okay.
wouldn't say that it's hard to find a black man,
Preach,
but I will say this.
preach.
Because because the other part to this is that I really love black people, so I would never just vocalize that it's hard to find a good black man. But what I will say is, from what I'm looking for, what I want from my life, the standards
Mhm.
that I have for myself. When I started doing the inner work, which has been going on for about 2 years now,
Mhm.
for what I want for myself, one of
Mhm.
the versions of that is I used to be very pro Black and Black love.
Mhm.
And I had to come to the realization that I had to be a little selfish. Do I want pro Black, this Black love, or do I want what I want for myself, which is a legacy for my children, which is to be cherished and to be able to respect my man, to be able to be taken care of, to be able to have whatever lifestyle that I want for myself. And do I want that more? Do I want Black love, quote unquote, or do I
Okay.
want Black love more than I want that? And I come to the realization that I want what I want for myself more than I want in specific to a Black man. So,
Okay.
do I want a Black man? Absolutely. I hope that I get that. I hope that
Okay.
I have beautiful Black kids. But at the end of the day, once I came to the realization that I'm open to be open
Okay.
to different races of man, I feel that I've been having a great time being courted.
Okay. Oh, oh,
Oh, courted.
oh, I'm gonna have to hit you up.
Okay.
I the what? Yes. Okay. All right. Now, Nisha, I know when I introduced everybody, I said, you're booed up. So just talking in the context in general, prior to you being booed up, did you find it was just so hard to find a good Black man? And it wait.
Absolutely. I was like, where they at though? Where are they? I was looking to see. I couldn't even swim. I ain't know. But my mindset has changed, and I realized that my mindset was just young. I think it's in levels on how you see things and what's going to happen as far as men are concerned. And I realized that once you change your mindset, everything changes, and they just come. You have to knock them away. Like, nope, I want this one. You get to choose. Girl. You get to choose. Oh my goodness, you get to choose. Like, nope, I don't
What
want
she
you.
got on her
Next.
plate over there, dude?
I'm telling you, when you have everything in row, you think about yourself. They gonna come. They gonna come. That's it. Yeah, but no, a good man is not hard to find.
Oh, she answered a question now.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for answering the question now. And what? And in regards to dating outside your race, you would date outside your race if you had to.
Now I won't.
Okay.
I did before, but now I won't.
Right
Wow.
on. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
So I wanna ask this question because I know we've been, and I think the guy is Kevin, if I'm not mistaken. It's a podcast, and I know I posted it on my actual Facebook page for the Mothers Unfiltered one. But he was interviewing a woman, and when he was interviewing a woman, she was basically asking, she wants this out of life and this and this, and she wants a man to make 6 figures and whatever. And he was telling him, well, rate yourself. And he was like, you better not say 7. It was all over the whole internet. Everybody was laughing about it. But now that people are hearing this, they're following him now. And the interesting thing about his show, he was interviewing another woman, and she was on the phone. And he said, well, what are you looking for? What do you want? Because I know all of you guys said, when you know what you want. And of course, you can stop me now or after. But she specifically said, I'm looking for a man that makes 6 figures. He said, well, exactly. And she said 300,000 minimum. And that kind of blew his socks off. Plus the men chiming in were like, what? I thought 6 figures was like 100,000. But she just went all the way up there. Now, when you say a man to take care of you and have that household type figure, what is there a certain figure you're looking for? Like, hey, he has the minimum, it has to be this minimum here, no less than this, because we all been raised by our parents. You don't date nobody who's a bum. Hey, I only got $8 in my name. You're going to date somebody that has some type of something going on. I guess I can start with April.
I would say that I don't necessarily have like, no, don't get me wrong. Like when I was younger, especially like in college days, I definitely had that, 6 figures, like he has to be this, and this. But I'm thankful that at that age, I also I'm very logical. Like I'm very matter of fact, So I was like, I'm not where I want to be, at that age, like 21. So how can I ask this of a man? Like, you know what I mean? Like like there's a chance that they're not. And I'm very accommodating to Black men because I know I struggle. I know, a lot of people come from broken homes, like, just especially American Black men and Black women. We just have a whole lot of, like, in the last show, it goes deep to slavery, it goes deep to, so how we communicate, how we function. So I'm very accommodating to, my Black people. Now other people, I'll be like, yeah, you got to have this, and this. But, so I felt like I couldn't ask all of this out of somebody if I wasn't where I wanted to be, or at least working towards that. Mm-hmm. So I came to that realization real quick. So now, where I'm at now, it's not so much about money as it is mindset.
Okay.
And I know we get stuck with this, the debate about, do we follow potential? We know that this is the, like a long debate about, do we invest in potential? But it takes actions. It takes vision. For me, I'm more attracted to vision. Okay. And you have to have the receipts to back it up. Like, you have a vision, and are you currently working towards that vision?
So if the guy, inside to cut you off, the guy's like, hey, I'm about to be the next, let's just say the guy's 39, be 40 next month. He's like, yo, I'm about to be the next rapper. I'm about to go up big. And he got a throwback jersey on, do-rag.
Why you do that for?
Well,
why you do it?
No, that's fine. But like for me, because I know my vision.
Okay.
What you just formulated that doesn't align with.
Well, I gotta throw that out there before we continue on with the question, because there's a lot of brothers that still want to be rappers at a late age, and some of them do blow up. I mean, take 2 Chainz. He's really old. A lot of people don't know that.
And why are you shaking your head? But there's probably a lot of women that will, that's their vision. Like she said, that will align with that, like, and I agree with everything that everyone's saying on the panel about like the energy and meshing and being in alignment. For me, it came like a certain point where it's like, again, you stop looking for the very specifics. So this person has to look this way, make this much, talk this way, how do you guys work together? Okay. Can you build for the future together and be aligned?
You can build for the future if you're at the rap concert. Why you can't hold up the billboard, build the background dance?
Yeah, coming from New York.
Yes.
Like, listen, I have the, like, I want my, New Yorker, like, I know, I got that. But the thing is, I got that. And then I realized I didn't want that. Like, I was like,
careful what you ask for.
He's not available. He's busy all the time. Like, there's, my texts go unanswered. Like, he got the swag, he has this, he has that. But then I realized my needs weren't being met. So then I had to go back to the drawing board, and I was like, what do I really want? Do I want that, Beyonce and Jay-Z love? What I thought I wanted. But now I'm just like, that's not, when you write down your values and what you want in a mate, you realize that may not be, like I thought, like, because I came from a certain, from New York and this, I would, that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? But then I was like, that's not, no.
And then you grew up. And then you grew up and found yourself and did that inner work. That's what happened. You grew.
Yeah.
So Hope, do you feel that when it comes to when I made the statement about the woman starting off, well, I want the 300,000 minimum, are you in that mind frame? Like, hey, he has to have a certain type of figure. Are you kind of like in the same path as April? Like, whatever I'm aligned with and what I'm wanting, hopefully that my partner can have that same match. Are you just kind of like, hey, I already have it figured out. He has to be 6 foot, this chiseled chin.
I can't.
So So what I would say is so funny. So what I would say is this. To answer the first question as far as a figure and different things like that. First of all, I didn't watch that video. I started circulating, but I refused to watch us be degraded. And just from the feedback that I heard, I absolutely refused to watch that video. But just from the comments that I read, the way I look at it is like this, and not getting into specifics, but I would say this. I don't have a set figure in mind, but in generally speaking, right, because I've been doing the inner work, and I mean, seriously, like I try to read a book once a week. I have hundreds of books now that I have ordered, that I've downloaded. You seeking therapy, you really trying to fill those holes that you grew up with, different things like that. So, and touching on that, I feel like I'm doing the work to be able to attract what I really want. And as far as the figures go, I think everybody has a set way they want to live their life. Everybody knows how they want to live their life, so there's no set figure on it. You could be, living on Section 8 with rent that's $56, and you have a man that's making $25,000 a year, and you're happy with him, and that's good for your life. You're cool with that, and he can be whatever it is you need him to be. Everybody has their own view. You may want a house on Beverly Hills. You're not going to be able to settle for the man making $40,000 a year because he can't provide that for you, and that's the life that you want. So I think that as a woman, what I've learned from just my journey is, it's not necessarily a set amount. It's, what do I want for my life? How do I see myself living? Can he provide that? So it's not he has to make $300,000 a year. It's, what do I want for my life? How do I see myself living? Right? Because he can't give me that lifestyle that I want, or however I see myself living, whether that's me living on the outskirts of Orlando and, with a little townhome. Can he provide that? If he can't, then he's just not it. And at the end of the day, I mean, men are providers. So that is the priority of one of the top priorities that you need to look at when you're looking for a mate, in my opinion. So I don't look at necessarily a set number. It's just, can he provide the lifestyle that I want? And that doesn't just include a house and a car. Is he reliable? Can I depend on him? How does he treat me? Do I feel cherished? Can I respect him as a man? Can I respect him as a husband? Can I respect him as a father? Does he stand by his word? Are we compatible? All of that comes into play. So it's not necessarily a set specifics. I used to be on set specifics on look. To be honest with you, I don't even go off looks anymore. You will see me, I'll be on a date with somebody that's 5'6", Asian, but they treat me well. They cherish me and they treat me really good, and that's all that matters, right? So I go off of, honestly, how does he make me feel?
I know I wanted to go down the line, but I guess I can start the question with you, Nisha, and because I know you are booed up. But with that being said,
oh no.
With that being said, I wanted to ask, because Hope had mentioned, respect, and she was saying about that, and with that being said, why do you think women, or Black women in general, not per se you or April or Hope or even Ty or myself, but you hear the stigma that we demasculate men, why do you think that is in reference to? Because we all of us, I know all the ladies here, and we could have that quick lip, and we could come back, and and we could make somebody feel very, very small. And with that being said, a man has an ego, and if he loses that ego, he got to go out and search for it. And why do you think that is with us? Is it just the fact that we're these strong African American women? Do you think these men are just too sensitive? My mom always goes around and says there's not enough alpha men out there. Like, oh, there's no alpha men going on. They whole bunch of bravos and beta men, but there's no alpha men. Is there a reason behind this, or is that just a crazy stereotype that we've been given?
Well, as far as the alpha and the beta, you have to know first as a female who you are. And I realized, because before, yes, I did want the DMX and stuff, and that was an alpha. But I'm an alpha female. I need a beta male. The one that's gonna rub my toes and make sure boo boo. Like, okay, y'all play. You gotta laugh if you want. But anyway, that's how that goes as far as the alpha. And for real, seriously, topic. Hey, comment, y'all. Comment down below. Men, put it out there. You want your alpha and you want your beta. If you an alpha man and you want a beta female, you don't want no alpha female. Y'all both up there. Yo, who gonna put up the tree first? Huh? No, you don't want that.
But no, it's true, because on the other segment with the guys, that's what we were talking about, that manly, that alpha woman with the alpha man. It's no.
I didn't know, but I am an alpha. So yes, beta is what I need and what I want and what I have.
But
And
do
I'm
you,
good. Okay, as far as, I'm sorry. Go ahead to the main question. Go ahead.
oh, somebody
Don't
said they
ask
couldn't.
her
Somebody said that they couldn't hear you unless you lean close, Nisha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you
Yes.
hear me now? Okay, that's good. My bad. I forgot the microphone. Okay. Now what you say?
I can't.
You want me to repeat? Do you want me to repeat? Okay, alpha. If females, if you are one that like to take control, you alpha. You need a beta male. That's one that's gonna come home and rub your toes, cook for you, whatever you need. If you looking for DMX and you alpha, that ain't gonna work. Y'all both gonna be fighting. Yo, who gonna take out the trash? No.
One
So,
thing,
I'll answer that.
one thing I don't mean to cut it, but one thing,
Go ahead.
this is a very good question. And I would say, like, I definitely identify with like the beta, the alpha, female, role. But just like Hope was saying, like, once you, do that inner work, like I've been on my own since I was 17. So I felt like I provide for myself, like I do this, and this. Like, I want a man, I don't need a man. That's how I used to feel. But then I really started doing the inner work, and I was like, no, I want to be the damsel in distress. I want the fairy tale.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Once I started doing that work, I was like, no, I do want to stand back and watch you open my door and pump my gas. And I do.
And it feels so good.
I did it because I had to, but I don't want to do that.
Well,
I feel like as a community, as a Black community, the Black female has been through, because of our history, has been the masculine role, because, from slavery, like the Black mother had to protect the children, especially the Black male, because she didn't want the Black male to be made an example of, on the plantation. So unfortunately, that placed us in that role, and we're still, that trickled down, and we're still dealing with that. I see mothers who I'm like, is your male child your son, or is he your man? Because you're treating him like a man. You know what I mean? So that is so deep. I don't feel like it's like necessarily that we want the role as alpha females, but we've been taught to take that role, and we're still stuck in it. And it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of cooperation and communication to get that.
To add to, well, we had a comment come through, and so Rocky says, I'm an alpha woman that wants an alpha man. I need to be able to fall back and let him take control at times. And I want to agree with that, because I guess I'm only one on here that's married. And with that being said, he's not a beta at all. My husband, he's definitely an alpha, but there's that balance. So I hate using the word, your place, because maybe there's such a negative connotation to it.
Maybe it's just know the role you're
okay.
You're
Thank you.
at
So
that
I
time,
know the role that I'm playing at that time. But it is true. There'll be times where we can't butt heads, because I want to take that leadership role, and he's like, nah, you got to fall back. I mean, and just no one's fighting in the streets anymore. But when we were younger, and if there was some type of argument or something going on, like, I'm ready to throw blows right with him. Like, what is good? And he's like, wait a second, can you go over there? You're distracting me, but I'm like, no, I'm the alpha. I'm taking on this thing. And he's like, pump your brakes. So it sometimes I do understand what Nisha's saying. You have to be able to have that balance.
So how
And
do
if
you find the balance though? Because that's what, like, I'm with Rocky. I need to find balance as well. I'm a alpha female, but
Mhm.
I also like to cater to my man.
Yes.
I love when my man comes home from work. I'm the one that wants to have bath water ready, dinner ready, rub
Mm,
his feet. How was
mhm,
your day? That's me. Serve your, and that's the way I grew up. My parents are still like that to this day.
mhm,
However, again, like, the when I was married, I was the breadwinner of the household. I made all the decisions. I had to take care of everything. So for me, it's hard to find that balance. It's like, please, man, come to me, please let me be the damsel in the distress. And then I'm like, no, you do this and do that. I got
well,
to get it
and to
together.
go to and to add to what April just said, it definitely is something that's been ingrained in our DNA from our ancestors. And then growing up, if you happen to be in a situation where your mom was the breadwinner or whatever the case may be, you see that woman, that Black woman, is the strong leader, and she's handling everybody's business. She's getting down, and she's getting down and dirty with everybody, and she's all positions. She's the
But
care. Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but is there a difference between a woman being a leader in the relationship versus being um too aggressive or taking over, or again
Yeah,
that
I think I mentioned this in the last episode that we had with the men. I don't know if I did or I didn't, so I apologize. But for myself, I had to do my own growth and my own checking, because when I was dating my husband, he was like, I cannot be with a woman and they try to put their hands on me like that. We're not playing those games at all. Like, we're gonna stop this right now. You'll never see me again. We're not gonna have no type of play or anything, because in my mind, being in an abusive relationship in the past, that was something that I was used to. So let's take out the whole abusive thing, just the aggression. I take on those roles, that manly, like, rah, rah, rah. And you have to, like I said, you have to know your role to be that damsel in distress, to be that feminine woman, compared to, like, yeah, I have my Timbs, but I also have my heels. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to have that. And I think it does take with growth. And I think all three of you guys mentioned that you guys grew and you guys got to know yourselves and say, hey, once I got to know myself and what I wanted, that's when you were being attracted to all these different people. And you could pick and choose now on who you want to be with, because you have that. Go ahead.
I wanted to add this in relation to what has been said too. I come from a family where all the women, basically what we've been talking about here, all the women are very strong. Very strong, and if I can say masculine, they lean more towards their masculine energy. And they're masculine, but as far as what puts on paper, right? They can cook, they can clean, um, they'll rub their husband's feet. They're all of this, but when I looked at the dynamics of the relationships, I remember saying to myself, I don't want a relationship like that. I don't want a relationship where it looks like you're doing everything and it looks like this man is basically, in my opinion, taking advantage of you. He's not even being a man. He's just there. He's just haven't married for 30, 40 years, but he's just there. And he doesn't cherish you. So looking at that, and then I would see the men in my family, and when it comes to family gatherings, they would be more on more leaning towards the feminine energy, not to say, sweet or anything like that, but just more so the women take the lead. And they
right.
would say, I would hear my cousin say this, I wouldn't want to marry anybody like the women in our family.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
And one thing that I said to myself during this 2-year journey of just getting to know myself and what I really want, this is the question that was posed to me. Do you want to be cherished for your feelings or respected for your thoughts? Because if you want to be respected for your thoughts, then you're more in the masculine energy, and that will make you more of the alpha in the relationship. But if you want to be cherished for how you feel, then you will be the more beta in the relationship, or the more feminine energy. And when I thought about that thing, I'm like, I want to be cherished for how I feel. When I tell you that I feel a certain way, or this makes me happy, or this makes me sad. I don't want to think on the logical, not saying that I'm not respectful of my thoughts, but the majority of the time I want to be cherished for my feelings. So what I've been doing is, like, if I go on dates and different things like that, to practice, because this is what has been engraved into me, that women take the lead, that especially Black women, you got it, you can handle it, you're independent. And so what I've been doing is training myself to reverse that. If I go on a date with a man, I'll have him order for me, or ask him, what do you think I should get? Or
Ooh.
tell him what I like, or what would you like to do? Oh, I've always wanted to go hot air ballooning. Well, let me see what I can find with it. What do you like to do? Oh, I love French food. Well, let me find this. Like, I've been training myself now to get into this mode of being more into my feelings and getting out of doing, right? Because when you're in doing, you're more in the masculine and just being. And to me, it has made me, it's just, to me, for me, because, right, everybody's different. It just feels good. And so I think that's just something that I've learned on the way.
It's interesting, and I definitely love your viewpoint. I mean, it's funny because so I would say that you three are an anomaly, like, because when I talk to other women, you always hear about them going through changes. Maybe they are in a relationship and they want to support their man, they want to be there for their man, but their man has a record. Let's just say that he got 2 felonies or something of that nature. And it's hard for him to get a job. And in the process of him hard getting a job, and year after year, he's struggling, and he had these excuses, and he is getting beat up by the system because he has this stuff against him. It kind of makes the woman have an extra burden, and she's going through these things, and she wants to have that play the beta role and fall back, but she's forced to be in a situation where she has to step up to the alpha role because he's getting beat down and everything. So it's really interesting just to see just the different experiences and the things that we go through. Oh, go ahead, Nisha. Yeah.
You said he had a record. Is this before or after you are dating him?
Right.
These questions are needed.
And you're not forced.
And it's when you say
You
well,
dated him.
arrested,
So you dated him.
was it violent? These things you need to know.
So let's just say you're dating the individual and you knew that he had a record. I mean, he's reformed. He's not doing that stuff anymore. I mean, this happened. Let's just say it happened when he's now 35 and he had this record and got this record when he was 19. He did his time. He did this, but he still has a record, but you still want to love that Black man. Like April said, like, hey, I do make accommodations for my Black men in their struggle. But at the end of the day, that's still pulling you in situations. Y'all want to go ahead and get a house and this. But guess what? That record, that HOA is going to be like, nah, you know what that record says about what he did? He did this, that, and the third. So it's still, you can't truly get what you want because you're kind of toting along this baggage. I mean, I hear this from women sometimes, and I seem like, wow, like.
But that's the problem. They not going with their standards. They going by what, oh, he's cute, let me go with him. Oh, he don't check this off. He don't check that. Oh, but I did that. That was wrong. No, you got a record. If that's not what you want, do not accept it. I don't care how long it was. It's going to take you down too. Because when y'all get together, you got to put credit together, all of that.
And I would assume that during the time that they were together, it was a period where the relationship progressed. If they got together and that person knew he already had a record and stayed with him, then I'm going to assume they were not in that state of mind where they wanted to build for the future.
Well, no, the situation. I actually know 3 women who are in situations where their significant other, the guy that they're talking to, whatever you want to call it, has a record and the love is there. And I think that they're living off that hope factor that it will be okay, not foreseeing like, hey, when it comes to building that credit, when it comes to moving this is going to enable me. But do we just kick that brother that got out of jail down? Do we just not think about him, in reference to love and romance?
No,
needs
he's
to
not
too.
for you.
And
He's
I
just
think-
not for you. You're not kicking him down, but he's not on your list. That's all.
Right.
That's
And I
all
think
we
that's
do.
what get
It's matching the levels,
and that's
matching
what
the
get Black
energy.
women caught up. We try to play this savior role, right? That we have to
Mhm.
save people.
Oh,
And that's where that whole I believe it's okay when it comes to yourself. It's okay to be selfish. So I used to
Mhm.
have the mindset of being accommodating to Black men, and you know what? I was unhappy. Okay, I didn't feel like I was cherished. I didn't feel like I was treated well. I was unhappy. But when I became selfish to say, "This is what I want. This is what I'm going to have." Okay, so we went on a date. You look good and all of this, but when you tell me you have a record, is this gonna go with what I want? You're nice.
Right.
I'm praying for you, and I pray you meet the one
Right.
for you,
He said,
right?
"Pray."
But you
But
don't
that
meet,
one
you
is
don't
not
meet
me.
what I want because you're going to come in between me leaving a legacy for my kids. You going to come in between me wanting what I want for my life. So you're cute. I'm sorry, the man, or what do we call it in our community? The white man is against you. I'm sorry you have all these cars stacked up against you, but there's somebody out there that's willing to go through that with you. But I'm not the one. And if that makes me selfish, if that makes me mean, so be it. But we have one life to live, and I'm not forced to be your savior, right?
It's-
And depending on what you believe in, you only got one savior. That could be somebody, a higher power. It could be yourself. But whoever it is, contact them because I'm not it.
Jeez.
and I will say something. I feel her, like I really do. But like I believe, like when I say it, like accommodating, and also being in line with your vision and what your needs. For this, using that example of the ex-con or ex-felon, felony.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. If he, let's say, because I have seen examples, I'm in different business groups, especially here in Atlanta. People like they will testify like, yo, I got out of jail. I was a 10-year. They own a trucking business now with their cousin. They do this. And that.
Oh, they made a way. They made a way.
Moves despite your record, but not to sit down and talk like, oh, well, I have a record, the system's against me, and I
see it.
No. If you're a hustler and you're going and you have something to show for your efforts since you've been out, that is something to work with. Not everybody's gonna want that, but I personally I look at actions. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can have a record, but what are you doing now?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Against, in terms of taxes, beating the system. There are so many ways, and the rich do it. So I don't, we don't have to, we don't have to, there's ways against ways. You can get house.
Yeah.
You can get housing,
it's also meeting that person where they're at, and I think that's what a lot of this conversation was about too, like meeting them where they're at. What you may want right now is not what I want. Like our energy does not match. I'm not saying that you're better than someone, is that we're on different wavelengths, and it's okay that we don't work well together. And I think we need to be able to identify if you can work with that person, where your head is at for the future, before you really start to invest. And for me, just looking around with the people that, because I don't really deal with a lot of people, but some of the folks that I don't.
Okay. Tell me how you really feel.
No, not because it's just like, oh, I don't deal. It's just, I know. I have too many other things going on, trying to help out with my parents, my son, but just have a lot of different things going on. So now I done lost the point. Never mind. Just don't, better than to take me off goddamn train.
Let's
go to the other point. Same with what you're
where they're at, and if you're not there, meeting people where
they're at.
But thank you. But again, we need to have those conversations in the beginning. A lot of folks I notice are not having those conversations at all, and then years later, or
they think they can change them.
Yes, I want to put that out there. I want to put out there. Thank you for mentioning that. You cannot change a man at all. Please do not try. Please don't find some ingredients or some instruction manual. You cannot change him. I don't care what. A lot of these young women out there, they think they could just make him over. I had to learn the hard way. A man will change when he wants to change. So if you're willing to wait and be an old maid while you're waiting, don't do it. Find somebody else. It's interesting. You also mentioned, Ty, you said, they're not having these conversations in the beginning. I think people are in love with the idea of being in love. I want a warm body. It's cuffing season. It's cold.
Yes.
I want to hold on to somebody. Wait, no. Hold on to that pillow. They make these pillows now that are real long. It's like a body length size. And you could just kind of squeeze on them.
They don't listen.
They don't make
one
those
of those people. No, they make them.
Okay.
They don't work. I throw my leg over it. You hug it up. Listen, this is unfiltered.
You better get a blow up doll, something. Because
Listen. We are about to go. No, we are about to go unfiltered.
Go unfiltered.
I am in love with being in love. I'm in love with the comfort, the stability, the growth. Okay. I'm in love with the rollover pipe. Who isn't? You know what I'm saying? But then, wait, you look, you
roll over who?
The rollover pipe. Like boop boop.
I know what I'm talking about. However, my confused ass, right, and me still needing to do shadow work is like, I want a relationship. I miss being in a relationship. I miss waking up every day to the same person and even having arguments, but knowing you're going home to that person. But where I'm at in my life right now, it's like, but then to even start a relationship, you have to spend time. You have to get to know that person. Then they want to call you all the time. And then they ask questions. I don't have time for all that. And then,
you know, it's funny that you said that, because I noticed, because all of it, without putting anyone's age out there, the age group on the panel for the audience is to say from 30 to 45. Let's use that. 30 to 45. With that being said, we're mature now, but you could think about who we were when we were younger. And I look back on who I was like, I was annoying as fuck. Like, what in the world? Like, I wish somebody was like, sit your ass down somewhere. Like, now you know why. No, you honestly know why the men made the term chicken heads. Because we out there just a quacking and whack, just always up somebody's ass. Just sit down. Get out of somebody's face.
Why you ain't calling me back?
Yeah, like, it's so funny when she said, like, where you going? Why you ain't call me back? Like, I don't want to have those conversations with you. I don't want to know where you doing. Like, what? No, please.
But people want to know. When you're in a relationship, people want to know. I've been calling you. Why you ain't
So let me tell you something that my mother taught me real quick. My mother used to always say, I can't teach you about boys, but I can teach you about men. And when it came to that, it is very true. I remember when I was dating my husband, and let's just say he seen me Friday night. So Friday night to Sunday night, him and I were kicking it. Sunday, he goes home, does his thing. He ain't called me in a whole week. I'm freaking out. I am like, oh my God, does he not like me? What's going on? What did I do? Da, 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 da. And she's like, what's your problem? And I was like, well, he's not calling me. He's like, is that your man? Well, no, we just started kicking it. So calm down. It's not even your man. Well, no. We spent Saturday and Sunday together. What does that mean? Because you slept with somebody, does that mean that's your man? Chill the fuck out until he actually has said to you that we're in a relationship. If a month has went by and you haven't heard from him, be cool. Live your life. Do you. He's doing him. He's not thinking about you, because if he was thinking about you, he would have called you. Chill out. And I think that a lot of young women just do not know that. And they're so wrapped up, and sometimes they drop out of college and school and all types of stuff, worrying about some guy that ain't worrying about you. I wanted to jump on some of these comments because they're kind of filling up real quick. So we can start here. The notion that a worthy man comes with a six-figure salary aligns our fathers and grandfathers who provided and found a way, and to our mothers who knew how to make it stretch and raise the women right. We are today with the ability to hold it down when push comes to shove, which is very true. Let's see here. Liz also says, I was never the one for a come up. Wisdom says, find a partner with potential that could come up with you. My philosophy is if he already has his great, if my philosophy, read that for me. I don't know if I'm reading it wrong.
My philosophy is he already has his great.
Got
if
you.
not, we could figure out how to get
ours together.
You want to know what? And I like that because when we first started, Kia, the question you asked was, is it hard to find a good Black man? And you know, I like language and you know, good Black man. Black men are great. They are beyond good. They are great. It's just like, again, finding that Black man that matches with your good.
Very good. Then we got, let me see. Rocky says, I've done that. Ease up on standards, not doing it again. Where I'm at in my life right now and what I'm currently building, if I can't check off these certain boxes with you, you gotta go. That is very true. Right. Nothing reduces a man like self-loathing. Then let's see what Cash says.
No.
I grew up very poor, and aside from casual dating, I was too busy trying to fix my life and become a better mate prospect to be in an actual relationship. Okay. She was just laughing at something we said. And then last but not least, a true alpha male doesn't mind being challenged by a woman because it usually results in growth. I believe that to be very, very, very true. I wanted to ask you this question here.
I don't like the face.
So and I know Hope had mentioned like, hey, if I'm dating, you know, an Asian man, you know, I'm having this experience or whatever. So this was actually a question from a guy. So I'm just repeating what he was saying. So basically the question is, why is it when if a Black woman dates outside her race, you'll have the hand claps like, you go girl, you do your thing. But then finally, if a Black man dates outside his race, there's an issue. Like, oh, you couldn't find a Black woman. What's wrong with you? Why are you ready to go to the white woman?
You ready?
Okay. Oh, wait. I got
ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Just real quick. When it comes to the men, they go to the other race because they are going to fame, money. Females, when we go to the other race, we're usually down and we like the men, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And then we decide to go another way. But usually men, I mean, just most of them that I see, usually fame. I don't know no real famous people, so I don't know.
So you're saying that we're going. So you're saying that the women are going because we want that comfort, and the men are switching sides because they want the come up.
No, the women mostly they fed up. They mostly fed up, and they're like, all right, let me try, you know, something different. Usually,
right.
And that's how it goes.
Well, I to add to that statement, you have a Black man that say, you know, and you guys were talking about the energies and the alpha women, you know, I don't want to date my mother. You know, I was, you know, if I'm dating a Black woman, they're not submissive. They're not in that, you know, that beta feminine role. They're very hardcore. If you have a white woman, they're a little bit more docile and just, you know, kind of go with the flow. Of course, this is always generalized. You know, there's always the exceptions to the rule. But just in an overall, you know, they say, let's just say right now, he's up, you know, 2 a.m, you know, hey, babe, can you make me a ham sandwich? Okay, hon. You know what I'm saying? While the Black woman, get your damn ham sandwich yourself. You know, I ain't going to get no ham sandwich. I don't even eat pork, you know. So it's like the different types, you know, the vibration's different. I don't want that aggressiveness while I'm trying to date. And I hear that a lot from some Black men.
So what I would say is this, because of course we've all heard that excuse that when Black men date, it's because the women are more feminine, and I get it, and there's some validity to it to a degree. What I would say is this, from my own personal experience. Usually it's hard for a Black woman to be submissive to a Black man. Not impossible, but it's hard, because when you start talking about being submissive to someone, I can't be submissive to someone I don't respect. And if I can't respect you, first of all, are you giving me something to respect? How are you treating me? Are you doing your thing like a man should? I feel that woman naturally submits to a man she can really respect. I have never, maybe once, but, and he wasn't American Black. He was from Europe. But it's easier on the other side of the spectrum. And I'm not trying to disrespect Black men, because I would never do that, because I think they're awesome. But I find it easier to be more feminine with men from other races because of how they treat me, because of how they lead, because I can respect them. Not because they're from a different race, but because they've been raised differently. They've been raised that when I sit in the car, wait, you don't touch the door. I'm coming out around to open it. Wait, let me run ahead to open the door. Wait, you have a problem? Let me figure out a solution. I got it. Oh, you're coming short up on this? I got it. What do you need help with? Let me try to figure it out. Let's brainstorm together. I got it. It's just very, they give you something to respect, so you naturally become submissive. So when Black men say that, the other end of the spectrum is usually when Black men go to different women, from my observation, they treat them differently. They don't treat them the same way they treat us. They treat them differently. So their women automatically respects them. And normally when you see them go over, other races of women are not taught to settle for potential. They're not taught that. They're not taught to lower their standards. They're taught, when you come to me, you better come stepping full way, not half. So usually when a man gets with a woman outside of his race, they're already where they should be successfully. So the white woman or whoever they date automatically respects them because they're coming to them like they should. But when they come to us, they don't, from observation, what it appears as if when they come to us, they're not coming to us the same way they do the woman. So you get a different response. Mm-hmm. So that's how I look at it.
It's just really funny that you said that, because this person in particular will always say, Black women have issues. They have so many, just the same way as, we think our Black men have issues. They have so many issues. And just like you said, matching that energy. I'm not trying to go through issues. I'm not trying to go through daddy issues with you. Your daddy wasn't here. Oh, your daddy was a druggie. Oh, your daddy went to jail. Daddy. I'm not trying to deal with this. And a lot of us, unfortunately, I honestly can say I have personally never met a African-American woman who does not have a daddy issue. And I didn't say that the father wasn't in the home, but there's just something there. So the father was a gambler. He was a Rolling Stone or just something. Like, it's really funny how our family dynamic works in the household. Even though we could be living in California, over here, over there, I just hear these men say, I don't want to deal with that. While you have the other counterparts, they don't per se have those issues. Not saying that they don't, but this is what the men, kind of chimed in and mentioned. You have a comment here. It says, I see it as a partnership. Men and women must submit to each other, work together, and come to agreements like two adults.
And that's why you married to a Black woman, Cash.
I heard she was mixed. I don't know.
That was funny.
No, but seriously, when it comes to anything, no matter if it's a daddy issue, a mommy issue, or anything, right now, today, go in your closet. Forget about any man, anywhere. Go inside yourself and really, really dig deep. Find out what you want, because it's only going to take you, no matter, you could blame any and everything, but it's only you. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I agree with Nisha. You got to. You got to face yourself.
Now that
shadow work is not easy. Shadow work is definitely not easy.
It's painful.
Yes, it is.
It'll have you crying in a room by yourself. I'm trying to tell
Oh,
you.
thank
When you start
going
facing
crazy.
yourself, let me tell you.
Want to know what? When you emerge, after you look yourself in the mirror and you figure out what's in here, not out here, when you emerge, it's goddess all the way. And like it was said from the beginning, this is the way I see it. Like your ascension is just like this, and then the people follow. That energy follows. When you are blessed and you are touched, you don't have to do much. Your guides will keep your guides keep negativity, toxicity, all that nonsense away from you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very blessed right now. Very, very blessed. There are not many people that can even call me. They cannot even contact me. That's how blessed I am. But I know my man is coming though. I could feel
Yes,
him.
he is.
Bring him on,
There's this quote there was this video that I read.
All of this, I
He
got
coming,
to give.
girl.
All of this, I got to give.
Jesus Christ.
All of this.
Please don't get up. Oh.
No, don't get. They want to see all of this.
Jesus Christ.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Something with the Sunday sermon.
Go ahead, Hope. What was you gonna say, Hope?
No, I was just following up with what Ty said. What she said, when you vibrate on that level, there was something that I had watched, and it was something that I'd never forget it. But she says, on a spiritual level, you meet no one but me. I meet no one but me. And who you are, what level, what wavelength you're vibrating on, you attract those things to you. And so when you see different people coming into your life, you have to ask yourself, well, why are they here? And how did I attract this? Because I meet no one but me.
That is very, very true.
Amen. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes,
April, I'm right there with you. That's very true. Let me ask you this, and of course, everybody's situation is different. And I always mention COVID, and I'm going to always mention COVID, especially because every day the numbers are going up when people pass away and just different things, and it's affecting our community at higher rates than all. Is it hard to date? Is it hard to and take you, Nisha, you're booed up, but even just, it's different if a person's in the house and you've seen them 24 hours of the day compared to pre-COVID. You guys could go here and have these things. And then also for the ladies that are single, is it hard to find people, now that the whole COVID, are you guys doing the online dating or just a blind date type of scenario?
Well, I guess I'll answer.
Okay, I'll go first then.
Mm-hmm.
As far as COVID, it helped to find out if he's a yay or a nay. Because I tell you right now, you only stuck with a certain amount of people in that circle of COVID. So now you know if you can stand him or you can't. I'm sorry.
Oh my
if
God.
you already, of course, you already met him before prior to COVID, but now that you did, this was good. This was good because I probably wouldn't have asked these questions or seen things or sorry. For real, I'm serious. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
It had a lot.
What the hell are you looking at? What are you saying?
Well, come into the Pandora box.
Not, oh my God.
Okay, no, serious. No, but you're able to see like the stress reliever of COVID 2020. You're able to see the highs and the lows. You probably wouldn't have seen if you was, dating, come and go and stuff. Now you're able to see, okay, now you don't have a job. Oh, what's really going on? Let me see your eye. What's over there? You're able to really, when you dating, you're like, oh, okay.
I say that all the time. I'll pick up the phone. If people must know, I love to put it out there. Nisha and I have been best friends since we were 18, and I won't disclose our ages.
It's okay. I'm 41. 41.
So you get an idea. You get an idea how long that's been. But with that being said, I used to mention on the phone with her, like, when times was hard, you get to looking at your mate like, why you chew like that? Like, what the fuck is that on your neck?
Like, are you breathing again?
Yeah.
For real. Like, do you always lick your fingers when you eat? Where's your napkin? And this is funny because, of course, during COVID, you get to see these people 24/7. You can't let them, oh God.
The only one you do see, because you can't go and see everybody else. But yeah, it was a yay or nay, and this was definitely helpful because you that close and knitted, you able to really see what's between the lines.
And what about you, April and Hope?
I mean, I can't even say because this year, this year and the last year has really been working on me, like kind of like Hope was mentioning, and I would say I haven't had any issue finding people because they just been, COVID got people slotted in your DM.
Okay. Okay. You better talk about it. Talk about it.
So, like, I mean, I have not had the issue. I have dated during this year, going on dates. I went on a whole llama date in the Tennessee mountains. Walking llamas. Like, yeah, like, and it was his idea. So
nice. So you was working. Nice. You was wait. Time out. Okay. So you was walking llamas, the animals, in the mountains.
Yes.
During COVID. Okay.
Social distance.
Social distancing. Okay.
There hasn't, it hasn't been a stop to that because again, I'm not even looking. Like all this year, I said I wasn't dating this year. I said I wasn't dating last year, and they just finding me, like, for real. So I had that issue at all.
All right. What about you, Hope?
Oh, I've been dating. I do patio dates. And usually we go out to go get something to eat. Majority of the time, try to eat on the patio or something, or you do outside dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I was really cut. Oh, I've been dating. Okay. Thank you for putting that.
I've been dating.
Let me read a couple last comments here. So, right, society has done a great job destroying the Black family dynamic so much that now is undesirable for us. In the long run, eliminating the race, food for thought. Very, very true. When we were talking about, is it hard to date during COVID? My 18-year-old daughter says it's hard. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
It's hard. You ain't dating.
Yeah, it's very hard when your mother is in the other room. Yeah, it's going to be hard during COVID. You ain't bringing that shit in my house. Yeah.
Mother's Unfiltered.
And then Liz says COVID really brought out people's true character for better or for worse. And this is true because unfortunately, a lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of abuse is going on. A lot of people are stuck with their abusers, and you get to see the stress. And unfortunately, a lot of people have lost their jobs, and they're going through the not getting enough of food in the house and different monies to help with the whole eviction process. I mean, it's really, really hard at what's going on. So you definitely have to kind of come together, and that's what you're saying, for better or for worse. It could either make or break the relationship, especially, if you guys are not strong enough. Liz says, usually we are too busy to stop and think. This year really forced people to realize what they would focus on and devote their time to if they had the free time available. True soul searching.
Yeah.
That is definitely true. I want to thank you, ladies, for taking your time out to come and talk on Mothers Unfiltered and get unfiltered with us. And the reason why it was so important just to hear you guys' perspective, because when the men were talking, they were talking about some ratchet women. Like, hey, I invited her for dinner. She ate all my food. I'm like, who are these women?
Right.
But I don't. And then, you know what? I don't associate myself with those type of individuals. Of course, there's always those ones out there. You ladies, I do associate with you all. And it shows a little bit, a glimpse of my personality. But with that being said, though, I really do thank you for coming on and just sharing your perspective. Any last thoughts, Ty?
Rollover pipe. I'm sorry. Sorry. No, guys, thank you.
That is good, though. I ain't gonna lie. Oh.
Rabbit.
All of this. We listen, that's a whole other show.
Yes. I can't wait.
Look, I got a toy box for your
Literally.
all of this.
Cannot.
All of this. No, but guys, again, thank you. For everyone that's watching now and will watch later, thank you again. We love you guys, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button again when you hit the like, the subscribe, alert, comment. It helps us circulate and build the show. And you know, Kia got Mothers Unfiltered going on. All of it.
You know what? And for anybody that's listening, it's so funny because if anyone knows me, I'm actually the wild one. And like on the show, I'm just not like
Conservative.
basically. Maybe that's the Gemini in me. But thank you guys. Thank you guys once again for coming out.
I had fun.
Thank you. And also for everyone listening, have a happy new year. Have a safe new year. I don't know if you guys are noticing, there's bombings in Tennessee. There's all types of stuff, new strands of COVID, this, whatever. We can talk about it for days.
Gonorrhea that doesn't go away.
Yeah. So just be safe for this new year and prepare. And we'll see you next Sunday. Bye, guys.
Next Sunday. Bye.